The General Banter Podcast with Cole and Jedis.
What the fuck is happening, people? It's the General Banter Sunday Q&A, which is actually more like a guided podcast based on the questions that you've sent me on the old Patreon. Great times. These have not been fucking vetted whatsoever. So some of them, if I skim over them, it's because I haven't been able to fucking do any research, or I haven't seen a thing. For example, first question, was Holloway robbed? This is a thing I need to catch up on today. I didn't get watching that UFC, and fuck UFC Fight Pass, you know what I mean? Don't make me pay for Fight Pass if you're not putting the fucking fight up the next fucking day. I'll pay more. It wasn't even a pay-per-view, for fuck's sake. I hate that shit where you're like, it's like, within 10 minutes it's all over fucking Instagram anyway. For crying out loud. And then they make you a week to watch it again. But no, that's my main job today. I'm gonna skim through some fights from the weekend, even though most people were like, oh, it was kind of shit. But yeah, I'll get through that. Was Holloway robbed? So I keep hearing. I'll give it a look later. Luke Hope. When we getting a tour of the General Banter HQ? Well, we're planning to put out a wee bit of content next week, which may well contain a tour of the office. I'll be honest, it'll be a short fucking tour. You'll go, we've walked in, this is where I sit, this is where we eat lunch, and then this is where we record podcasts, and that's it. And then I'll do a fucking lengthy breakdown of equipment for all you fucking nerds out there who are like, man, I'm looking to get into a podcast because it seems to be like every cunt's getting into a podcast. So I was going to do a podcast, and I've had this bright idea about reviewing films. Have you ever heard of such a format? Tell me what your gear is. And you're like, yeah, I'll tell you what the gear is, and then you can go spend fucking thousands of pounds on kit to record one episode and feel embarrassed about it and never put it out. Or otherwise you would just be doing it, you know what I'm saying? Say that a million fucking times. But yeah, hopefully we'll get one done today or later and put it in this wee film that's going out next week. What was the first live stand-up gig you ever went to? Cheers for the great content during lockdown. No sweat, James. First ever comedy gig? I don't think I think the first stand-up comedy gig I went to was like a local one. I don't think before that I had been to like a big live comedy show. I'm just getting emotional about it now. I don't think I'd ever been to one, to be honest. I think the first one was probably like just some like the Pavilion or something, where I went with like Mickey or Shane back in the day just to see what it was all about. And I can remember my immediate thought being like, Jesus Christ, I didn't realize they just let any cunt on stage. I didn't know what the filters were, or what hoops you had to jump through, or what qualification you had to have to be a comedian. But when I seen it, I was like, well, obviously there's none. And it is a requirement to be borderline mentally ill. That was my initial thoughts. And I was like, I'm sure I can string together a few stories that are funnier than these cunts. Basically having a breakdown on stage. But yeah, I think it was a local one. I hadn't been to see even any like big comedians or whatever. I think you almost need to like have seen your fucking parents do that or something. My parents were never going to see shit. I think one time I remember them getting tickets for Billy Connolly and just never fucked up about how dear it was. But yeah, I think it was just a local one. I think by the time I was doing stand up, I'd probably been to about 4 gigs. Which is how it should be, you know what I mean? You should either be a comic and you're just doing it because that's what you were supposed to be doing, instead of being a fan for like 15 years and then going, I'm going to give this a go, and being terrible. I'm just, hopefully we get fucking half an hour to this chat today. If not, do you know what I mean? It's Sunday, quote unquote, and it's just something to listen to. Mick Conlon. Violin Mick. I hope the fam is all good. Have you watched Jim Jeffries' new special yet? I've always liked him, but don't know if he's just funny now because he's an angry Aussie saying cunt to a room full of Americans. Well, this is it. They always. I mean, that's the thing. You do like your first few specials and they're pure fire because you're like a touring comedian, and then the success can sometimes make your stand up a bit shitter because basically people are coming out to see you. And it gets easier and easier to do stand up in front of them if they're already a fan, and then you start to think to yourself, do you know what? I'm not gonna hit the comedy clubs. I'm just gonna work my material at my theater gigs, and it sort of waters itself down. So yeah, it probably does suffer a wee bit. I fucking hate stand up so much I wouldn't even spend an hour watching Jim Jeffries, even though he's class. But yeah, there is elements of that where yeah, he's just like something can't, and everyone's like, but that's his thing, man. He has bits where he does say cunt way too much, you know, when he's actually talking about vaginas, which, you know, people in this part of the world, no one actually means that when they say it. They're just like, what's happening? You can't, you know, it's just like, it's friendly. You cheeky cunt, things like that. No one is actually like, Jesus Christ, I'd my fist in her cunt, which is more his style. Yeah, when you're actually you fucking got your dick in the cunt, you can't. That's extra stinking. Like, you can't be saying that. But it is slightly more charming in an Australian accent, as are most things. And if you want to make something disgusting, say it in a Northern Irish accent. You know, mate, fuck you, that girl last night. No, you gotta look at her cunt. You know what I mean? You'd bulk up your fucking pasty bap if someone said that. Disgusting. But yeah, these successful guys, when they get TV shows and fucking whatever, and they're not spending as much time doing comedy, and you know, they think like, sure, I'll just fucking get a few writers together and I'll chuck a bit of material together. I'll do a few shows. I'll do a tour with the material, and then you know, I'll just go record it. That doesn't really make for a good special, to be honest. Saying that, I don't know what fucking makes a good special either. So, Niall, not you. There's a guy called Niall here. Oh, he did a wanker sign. That's rude. Hi, Colin. Love the podcast. I've recently become a coffee drinker. Oh, you fucking savage. I was so glad when the coffee shops reopened to get a proper cup of coffee. This guy's went from didn't drink coffee to, would you ever open the fucking doors to get a fucking coffee in here? I'm choking. I'm absolutely jonesing for a fucking long black. But I have noticed that so many people go to these coffee shops to get a glorified McFlurry, in brackets, Frappuccino. What are your opinions on this? I mean, you're talking to the coffee slut over here. I'll drink anything, but it is slightly unnecessary to be like, you know, oh my God, I need a Starbucks, and people fucking walk miles to get one, and then they get like a fucking caramel Frappuccino. And you're like, yeah, that's not... Yeah, you're basically like, I just want fucking ice cream. That's basically what you're saying. Don't get me wrong, delicious. I have had one before. It was fucking unbelievable. But I've told this story before. I remember being in Belfast very early in the morning because I had to drop Maureen off at a thing and I had to kill a bit of time. And this is before coffee shops had even opened, so they were just opening their doors at like fucking 7 o'clock. And I went in a Nero, and there was a woman in front of me, and she was like, yeah, can I get a fucking whatever Frappuccino? And the girl's like whizzing it up and putting sauce in it and cream in it. Do you want cream? Yes, please. And I was like, this is how you start your day? Like, couldn't possibly put fucking pen to paper the day without having a 1,600 calorie milkshake, essentially. You can't, I mean, it might be alright every once in a while, you know, you're like, I'm feeling like a dirty slut, I'll have one of these. Or I'm hungover or something. But yeah, day to day, I think the more coffee you drink, the more you just want the actual coffee. You know, you don't even want milk in it or anything. You're just like, give me the black coffee, let's party. But they are fucking delicious though. But what do you call that? I think it is a Starbucks, like down the side of Queen's University. You go in there. I went in there to meet someone, and I was just waiting there, people watching, and there was a load of fucking kids from, it must be Methody or something, And they're in there like serious businessmen. That's what they look like. They're like, yeah, just in here with a laptop. I got a meeting, blah, blah. I'm wearing a school uniform, but I've got a fucking, Omega Seamaster watch on, and I mean business. Yes, on the phone call. Yes, pick me up on the range. Yeah, I'll be outside the Starbucks. And then they're like, yep. Yes, Trisha, two caramel frappuccinos, please. Thank you. To go, yeah. Quadruple shots. Yep. So they were acting all serious, but they were like, still ordering the kid drinks. Now all I can think about and want is a fucking frappuccino. Might have to get one. Philip Carroll, are you going ahead with the secret gig you talked about, or were you just putting the feelers out? I don't know. We'll see, because I'm scared. I'm scared about it. Republic of Ireland is closing down again. They're like, you went too far. You went crazy. We give you some freedom and you went fucking mad with it. Pull it back. So they're going to be in lockdown again. I'd love to. I'd fucking love to. Donald McKeown, what do you make of the Fighter and the Kid boys getting COVID? Used to be a big fan and even saw Brendan live, but got tired of them whining about the lockdown and downplaying the virus. Well, it was hilarious how they were like, yeah, fuck this, and fuck that. It's only a fucking flu, whatever. We don't give a shit. We'll be going to... And they were going to like some real hot spots, like, was it Houston or something? Places where the fucking death rate was through the roof. And they're like, yeah, we're going to go there. We're going to meet people and whatever. And it was literally like the second they came back, yeah, we got COVID. So, sorry about that. Like, you fucking stupid dicks. But they're all over the place then too, you know what I mean? I used to like that podcast, and then it's got a bit like... Brendan Schaub seems like he's bigger, which he definitely is. He's probably more successful than Brian Callen, and then Brian Callen just keeps getting older, and you can feel the frustration of Brendan Schaub going, yeah, I'm referencing things that you don't even know what I'm talking about because you're fucking 60. So I think it's only a matter of time before he's like, yeah, we're just stopping this podcast and whatever. But yeah, they talk about game and then they just go and get COVID, and you're like, well, what the fuck? What do you expect? And that video where they fucking, talk about Chris D'Elia and they're all crying and all. Fuck up. Unbelievable. But yeah, it's all fun and games till someone gets COVID. I mean, it is as stupid as going like, oh, the house is on fire, but sure, I don't give a fuck. I'll go in that house. And then you go in the house, you come out covered in blisters, and you go, yeah, I got burnt going in that house. No shit. No shit, you fucking idiot. Philip Evans. What's your opinion and general opinion amongst comics of writers for comedy shows? Are they seen as talented comedically or not really? Since some people say if they were, they would be performing the comedy they write. Well, I mean, there definitely are very, very talented writers. Depends what you mean. Do you mean writing for like a comedy show, or do you mean writing for like an actual comedian? Because there aren't a lot of comedians that have writers unless they're like very, very successful. I mean, yeah, they're definitely talented. I mean, you look at people who, like fucking Graham Linehan or something, people who write comedy shows, of course they're fucking talented. Larry David, when he was like writing Seinfeld, these people are super funny and talented. But they don't necessarily need to do stand-up. I mean, there's a lot of good stand-ups that aren't the best writers. Yeah, but they can perform well, so they sort of get away with it. Like Lee Evans or fucking Michael McIntyre or something. The bits aren't, genius, but they fucking leap about enough where you're like, that's entertaining. But it's like anything. It's like listening to rap music. You get a rapper who's like got fucking lethal beats, but their actual rapping is pish, but you sort of get away with it. Or you can be a really good rapper and have pretty basic beats. Or you get someone who's got like best of both worlds, like a fucking Jay-Z or something. You're like, this is lethal. So what you really want is a stand-up comedian who's really good at writing. Colm Kelly, really enjoyed your podcast with Rory Woods on the subject of weird drinks like whiskey and appetizer. Have you ever tried Midori and milk? I swear it sounds rank, looks rank, but tastes absolutely class. Let me just remind myself what Midori is. The fuck is Midori? Is it like... What flavour is it? Did I spell that right? Midori? No. Alright, Midori. Oh, it tastes like melon? Oh, bro. That green shit? No thanks. Midori and milk? Vomit. Midori. Yep, yep, there you go. Midori melon punch. There's just something weird about, like, imagine you were going on the rip and you were dying the next day and someone was like, what'd you drink last night? And you're like, fuck me, mate, 6 litres of fucking full fat milk. I'm wrecked. Midori. Oh, fuck me. Yeah, it sounds rank. I'm sure it is nice. Yeah, that sounds fucking disgusting. But it's green and fun, so, you know, maybe it's good for children or whatever. Also, it's a liqueur, isn't it? So, like, what the fuck? You're going to have to drink fucking 9 pints of it to get a buzz on. Really enjoyed the podcast. Or Talal Joe Mart. Really enjoyed the podcast with Dill Takes Photos. Loved hearing how you both get inspiration for material. Is that a career / hobby you would pursue if you took a break from comedy? What? Just making videos? I mean, we do a lot more things in common than you'd think, you know what I mean? Me and Alexa Dylan Osborne, like, it's the same shit kind of, like, I've made videos for clients, he makes videos for clients, he's done podcasts, I do podcasts, he's vlogged, I've vlogged. It's more, we do a lot of the same shit. His is just different style or topic or whatever. Mine's another thing. There's a lot of crossover, like, so if I stop doing comedy, there's a good chance I could probably still be doing stuff like that. Who knows? Brian, what font style of writing is your grit teeth cleansers good? What style of writing? I don't know. I found it on a fucking app, but it looks a bit like some sort of alien scrapings, you know what I mean? Like, you'd see it on a fucking wheat field with a drone camera. You're like, what does that say? Someone scraped it into the ground. Or it kind of looks a wee bit like Icelandic type, you know, that sort of shit. I don't give a fuck. I hate talking about tattoos. This is how I get tattoos. I go, I'll be good, and then I get it. And people are like, do you not regret it? And you're like, yeah, fucking right, but sure, you know what I mean? What are you gonna do? Die anyway? Paul Devaney, meant to ask this last week, but in your honest opinion, what did you think of the Paddy Raff show? I thought it was class and great to see him doing well. Well, Paul, good way to get yourself blocked. I'm only messing. Can't help wondering how a Godzilla production would look awesome on the big screen, but understand the TV politics would want to ruin your masterclass, and you just not stand for that. Is right. Paddy Raff show. It was like, this is what fucks me off about the BBC. Just fucking commit. Just try and actually fucking do something good. I know rightly that they probably seen Paddy make a lot of shit in his house over lockdown, and they're like, man, he's the king of lockdown humor. I've seen that somewhere. And then they've went, right, bro, and they probably went, we've got a tiny budget here to be experimental. Can you shoot this all in your house? Which limits you to pretty much making a lot of fucking lockdown jokes. And you do all the work, probably with one cameraman and one editor. And then we get to put that on TV, and we pay you fucking peanuts compared to the budget that we got. And we'll see how it goes. Instead of just going like let's actually take a guy who's got a good following and put a bit of money at it because we don't have to do much to promote it, and then actually make something fucking good instead of having to have someone be like as creative as they can in front of a green screen. You know what I mean? But he did a good job for, you know, the circumstances, like. But you couldn't fucking pay me to go on TV these days, like, not a chance. I mean, there would have to be some serious, like, chats going on. It would have to be like a life altering amount of money, and it would have to be I get to fucking do whatever I want basically and bring it to you, which isn't gonna happen ever because I would technically be a producer then, and then a producer would be sitting at home twiddling his fucking dick, going, do I deserve this job? And they always have to put their fucking mark on it somehow. So that's why a lot of people, you hear people going like, oh, do you reckon you could do this? And they give some fucking bullshit suggestion just to make it, just to let people know that they know what they're looking at and that they know what they're doing. And plenty of times people have just like changed the name of the fucking video file and sent it back, and they go, that's perfect. And you go, there was nothing changed. It was just you wanted your fucking input there. Anyway, literally you couldn't fucking pay me to do it. Godzilla production would look awesome on the big screen. Well, guess what, bro? You can cast from YouTube to the fucking big screen, and we got shit coming. And it'll look and fucking sound a lot better than anything BBC can shit out on a fucking 15-year-old camera. What a fucking toilet. Your demographic, is it going to offend a Protestant farmer's wife who's 57 in Auchnacloy? I fucking hope so. I hope she fucking throws up her digestives when she hears it. The podcast with Mickey. Oh, wait a second. Brian Etherson. The podcast with Mickey reminded me of this girl I used to work with who swore she sucked him off after a gig one time. What? So just wondering, what's the least impressive thing you've heard someone boast about with such confidence? I mean, yeah. I feel like I've read this question before. I don't know if I've answered it or not. Now, what sort of fucking dregs of society thinks for sure that they probably sucked off Mickey Bartlett? How many random cocks were flying into your mouth where you're like, I could have sworn in the midst of that carpet bombing of jizz, one of those dicks was Mickey Bartlett's? And fair play to her, because I know the guy, and the thought of that makes me want to fucking throw up on this table. So fair play to you for what you need, a fucking Purple Heart or whatever those people get. Purple Head. Jesus Christ. What's the least impressive thing you've heard someone boast with such confidence? Fuck, I don't know. I would need to think about that one for a minute. There's plenty of that going on. Could have swore she sucked him off after a gig. Oh my god. What is with these comedians like? I've never got sucked off after a gig in my fucking life. And no one's doing gigs like me. You know what I mean? Sold out player, nationwide. It's just me and Aaron eating fucking chicken in Liverpool. Probably would have sucked me off if I'd asked them, but I wasn't that into it at the time. Would love to see more of the NI comedians break into TV. Why? Why? Would you ever be interested in doing any of the UK comedy panel shows? I mean, I would show up just so that people would come to a fucking Edinburgh Fringe show and sell it out for a month based on the fact that they've seen me before. But no, why? Imagine me on fucking 8 out of 10 Cats does fucking Homes Under the Hammer or whatever fucking stupid show they're doing now. Oh, what do you think, Colin? I'd just be standing there going, yeah, Cool. Whatever you think, Jimmy. Just get me fucking paid and get me out of here. No, there's definitely there's a stigma attached to having an accent like this, and it barely works anywhere. But we'll see when the big man hits fucking America and Australia next year. John Goodman, what are your views on CrossFit? Would love to see a vlog of you trying either a CrossFit class or a CrossFit PT session. There are a lot of fucking workouts I do are fairly CrossFit-y, you know. A lot of those on the minute jobs, you know, you write out a big fucking thing, try and get through it for time, and you know, I've done plenty of shit like that. It's good, obviously people do it, get super fit, get in great shape, you know, it's fun and competitive and great community and all that. It is just slightly hilarious to be like, these guys are seeing how many exercises they can do in like this time. You know, you watch, and I've watched all those movies, all those fucking Fittest on Earth and all that shit, and you're like, I'm watching guys see who can do, you know, pull-ups the quickest. This is insane. But it's somehow they hook you in. You know, you're watching it, you're going, man, this is exciting to watch. These guys exercise against each other. It's very exciting. What are your views, of course? Yeah, I mean, would love to see a vlog. Yep, I could probably make that happen. I could probably do it with my own gear at home. You know, see how many fucking overhead presses I can do in a minute. Do you listen to any podcasts when you're out driving or in your free time or when you have free time? Do you like to stay away from podcasts? I used to listen to a lot of them, and then I feel like there's very few that I can get into. Like, I feel like I've sickened myself of them. Moving a bit more into sort of audiobook territory, but like there's a lot of, like, Fighter and the Kid, we talked about that a minute ago. Used to listen to that, kind of just went off it. Joe Rogan I will listen to, which is sort of guest dependent. Tim Dillon is a big one I've been listening to recently. Like, used to listen to Chris D'Elia's one, and I don't think he's doing that many podcasts anymore now that he's been fingered for fingering. What other shit do I listen to? Just depends. There's so many I put on. Like, I used to listen to fucking Bill Burr flat out, and then I get sick of that. I don't know. It's not really what I fucking listen to now. But I'll come back around to it. You know what I mean? I mean, it's rich coming from me being like, listen to my podcast. I don't listen to them. They do my head in. Maybe that's why people get into those fucking like murder ones and conspiracy ones and stuff. Maybe they're a bit more, you know. But then again, sometimes you just want them to be funny. Like, I listened to Bobby Lee. Who was it? Bobby Lee and fucking Theo Vaughn the other day, and I was like, oh, it's good to actually just listen to something that's just silly. Road trip, pick a car, a destination, and 3 passengers, and explain why. Okay, pick a car. Obviously gonna be something big for a bit of space, isn't it? I seen, just for talk's sake, I seen one of those, like a new Ford Bronco the other day. They're pretty fucking badass. Ford Bronco. I mean, any large Jeep type thing would be cool, but those new Broncos are fucking wild looking. Yeah, I'd take one of those and just basically 3, you know, just random prostitutes and explain why. Just to stop off at random places and bang them, and that's it, really. You know what I mean? What's your thoughts on Canadians? I asked you this before, but you got so caught up in my first question, you Alzheimer'd this one. Stay focused, bro. Fuck off, Alex. People pay for this Alzheimer'd bullshit. What do you think of Canadians? I don't know. I don't know any. There's a lot of funny Canadians. A lot of cool Canadians. They're a bit less fucking in your face than Americans. But yeah, there's plenty of Canadian. Man, Drake, your president? Love him. Matty Matheson? Love him. Yeah, Canadian. I don't think about it that often, but yeah, they're fine. Would love to go sometime. Where do you live? Have me over. I'll come to your house. If I remember to do that because of Alzheimer's. when is the blood and the mud and the? I just went to scroll on my computer. I mentioned that Alzheimer's, and then I scrolled on the trackpad to try and move my phone. So it's gonna be a good day. Great times. When's the blood, the mud, and the beers getting filmed? Yeah, that was I made a trailer for a thing years ago. There was scripts made for it. I mean, that's the sort of shit that I would, if it was gonna go on TV, I would enjoy being on TV. Like an actual fucking show that was kind of gonna. It was sort of like Always Sunny / Trailer Park Boys vibes, except just shot here. And I wasn't gonna make it overly about here, a lot of references and stuff. I was just gonna try and make something really, really funny that just so happened to have people with a Northern Irish accent. I also thought, would it be an experiment to write a show and just have the characters be English, just so that it would have, or American, so that it would have a better chance of doing well. Much like those two Scottish rappers who were like, "Alright, you cunt," and someone went, "You'd be a lot more successful if you were American," and they were like, "Cool, dude, I'm fucking American now," and they got this whole career going and earned fucking hundreds of thousands of Scottish pounds that you can't spend anywhere, just faking that they were American, and then they got caught out and dropped, which is hilarious. Which you think might have been a cool story to be like, listen, man, I had to fake that I was American for anyone to take me seriously. Let me just be my true self. And they're like, absolutely not. We can't have your fucking haggis breath over here trying to do hip hop. Blood, the mud, and the beers. Yeah, I would love to do that. Again, huge fucking undertaking. You know, trying to make a fucking show. Maybe we just aim to make one pilot. Who knows? Alistair, if you were to have a bonfire with things you hate on it, what would be on it? Up the fucking pillars. What? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. There isn't a big enough fire for the list of shit that I hate. Bonfires. I'd put bonfires on it. Who needs them? Alistair, do you think if Netflix offered Mickey a 1 hour stand-up special, if he let Gemma Collins shit in his mouth, would he use mouthwash after? Alistair, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? I can't speak on behalf of Mickey Bartlett, but Gemma Collins is probably a bit hotter than what would be his typical type, I dare say. Yeah, he's the type of guy, if he had a few pints in him, and be like, I'm gonna fucking chat up this big girl here. You know, shit in my mouth, Pat. Wouldn't surprise me at all. And finally, Johnny Magwood. That sounds like a made-up cop's name. Thoughts on Wayfair human trafficking theory? You may stick her into Google. I know what it is, man. I talked about it on the last podcast. It's fucking demented. I think there are... I don't know what has happened, what sort of sick joke is going on, but I just think it's a very weird thing to be happening. You know, I feel like if you were buying a human and you were one of these elite billionaires, there would be more money in it than like 20 grand. That's what I think. You know, would they really be selling these children or these missing people in a fucking case or in a fucking chest or something? Would they be doing it to make money? And they certainly wouldn't be selling for 20 grand. Like, what the fuck would like a Hillary Clinton need 20 grand for? You'd be selling it for fucking major brick, like. You'd be like, do you want to buy this? Yeah, it's fucking 10 million. Madeleine McCann in a suitcase. Enjoy yourself. But yeah, it's fucking demented. You got to look into it. If just the notion that a company would be fucking trafficking humans inside office equipment is fucking demented. Although for some reason some office equipment is ridiculously expensive anyway. You're like, can I buy this stool? And they're like, it's 400 quid. And you're like, for what? Me to put my asshole on? No thanks. It's crazy. But that rabbit hole just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. Elite pedos. Don't know what it's about. Freaks me out. I'm losing sleep over it, to be honest. There's some sound effects. Anyway, that's the last of the questions, guys. Cheers for listening. We'll be back Tuesday with more podcasting, possibly a guest, possibly more conspiracy-based stuff with Connor Keys and Mickey Bartlett. So that'll be a fucking long one. We may clear the fucking memory cards because there's some shit getting talked, and we'll probably end up getting suicided. You know what I mean? Oh, he killed himself. 4 bullet wounds to the head. But anyway, we'll get the fuck out of here. Cheers for listening, and we'll see you Tuesday. Bye-bye.